Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rise. We're back here at one of my special filming spots because guess what? We have that long-standing people hauler from that iconic Japanese brand. What are we talking about? We're talking about this vehicle right here. This is your updated 2025 Honda Odyssey. This particular one is the top dog trim known as the Elite. But before we get into one of the longest running minivans, let's talk about what's going on here. Honda didn't come out with the minivan. That honor goes to Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth in the 1980s. But when Honda started making the Odyssey, they tried to take everything that they knew about bulletproof reliability and bring it into that ultimate people hauler. Now, for 2025, they made some changes, but if you were hoping for either all-wheel drive or a hybrid powertrain, it's not happening on the Honda Odyssey. You're gonna have to go to one of the other brands, whether it be Toyota, Kia, or Chrysler. But what I wanna find out is, if you're looking for a new vehicle and you got a lot of people in your life that need to be hauled around, is this Odyssey the way to go over a Sienna, over a Carnival, or even a Pacifica? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, it has those overall dimensions of what makes a minivan. And Honda, like some of the other brands, is trying so hard to make minivans cool. At the front of the business, you're gonna see a refreshed design, updated headlight housing, full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamp. Working our way down, you have this gloss black corner area with your fog lamps and your turn signals all blended in nicely. And that's one of the things that with the reshaped front fascia, they did give it a little bit more of a sportier look compared to previous model years. Now, as we come across the updated grille, gloss black with that gloss black brow that goes from one corner to the other, that massive Honda badge. And then on the lower portion, you'll notice this honeycomb style lower grille that is flat black, but it is all body colored around it. And this particular color is called smoked blue oyster. Little fancy tinge of blue. But let me know what you think about this updated look. Would you go with something like this even over a Honda Pilot? That's a good question as well. Now, as we rise up, one of the things that kills the style just from a minivan perspective is that curved hood. One of the things that the Kia Carnival does very well, it has a flatter hood. This curved hood, good for visibility when you're behind the wheel, but for sex appeal, not happening. So, but the hood is exactly the same as the previous model year. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So when you go the top Elite trim, these are the 19-inch wheels, machined aluminum, gloss black, very Honda-esque wheel. You look at any of their other vehicles in their lineup, whether it be the Passport, the Pilot, the I almost said Corolla, the Civic, the Accord. This wheel design, it shows that family resemblance. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of these tires? 235 on the width, 55 series sidewall, and I like the way everything is painted that smoked blue oyster. Now, when we come down the side, you are gonna get color mesh on the mirror caps, LED turn signals. One of the things I gotta zonk is what the hell's going on here? Massive piece of gloss black. This is gonna get scratched to high heaven when you clean it. That should be a quarter window to give you better visibility. You do have on the Elite trim some shiny bright metalwork. It's only on the bottom portion of the side of the vehicle. And I also like the way there's no raised roof rails. It does give it a nice cleaner look. If you've ever wondered, does this have any like body lines? It does. On the front passenger door, you'll notice how that body line starts in the middle and then kind of slopes down and runs the length of the side of the vehicle, kind of goes over into those fender openings. We do have color match on the door handles and then color matched all the way down below as well. I think one of the coolest things about this Odyssey is look at how they hide the track nicely within that quarter glass window area for our sliding doors. Spinning around the back, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I got to zonk the exposed wiper. This needs to be tucked underneath that roof spoiler. You do have some of that bright, shiny metalwork, like I said, only on the bottom. And then we do have those lobster claw staplers, like click, 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 stapler taillight design. Not my favorite. And another thing that I cannot believe is that on a 2025 model year vehicle, we have a bunch of old-fashioned light bulbs. Thomas Edison right now is just, he's rolling over in his grave. That should all be LED, especially on the top trim. Now, the one cool thing is as we work our way down, these reflectors are off the old second gen NSX. So you are getting some supercar NSX specialness with your Odyssey. We got the Elite badge, letting you know it's the top trim. I do like the way that the trim kind of works its way nicely in between the bookends of those taillights. And then as we work our way down to ground level, very, very low bumper area, super clean. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this Odyssey. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a hood strut, which I am gonna have to zonk on the hood of a top Elite trim. Underneath the hood, not the sexiest of engine covers, but it is what's underneath the hood. What do we have? It's that tried and true, very reliable 3.5 liter V6. How much power is that V6 producing? 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 6.4 seconds, making it the fastest accelerating of all the minivans. Top speed governed to 111 miles per hour. MPGs 19 in the city, 28 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 4,562 pounds. So I know a lot of people were waiting for hybrid. We'll have to see if 2026 will be the year that that happens. You can get hybrid if you go with the other brands, Kia, Toyota, and Chrysler. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this V6 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Honda Odyssey Elite. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. I have too many kids. I didn't learn after the first couple. I just kept having them. Now I'm up to 10, and I need an SUV, but I'm gonna have to go minivan. How much is this? So MSRP on this particular one is right around $51,000. Let's see what you get for the money when you go Odyssey to the door panels. One of the things I like is the two-tone. One of the things I can't believe they did is they actually gave you gloss black on the door handle itself. That is a major zonk. Your kids are gonna get their fingerprints all over that. No gloss black around the window switchgear and the door lock switchgear. And then if you love storage capacity, Honda brings it tenfold. You got a perfect area for a Costco hot dog and a Pepsi, still $1.50, and then a door pocket down there where you could easily put, I would say, 4 Renfest turkey legs. So you could take this to the Renfest and really load it up. Now going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch material, a little bit of gloss black, and then they have this wood style trim. I wish they would have used some of this on the actual door panel as well. Let me know your thoughts on the two-tone. It's working for me. I could see, though, how your kids are going to get this all disgusting with their gross fingers and hands and everything else that they have. Now, slide on in. You are going to get that 9-inch infotainment system. It is kind of sad that they didn't update this to the larger 12.3-inch, but you have your navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You got your rear seat entertainment that you can access. See, it's giving you the directions on how to make that work with HDMI. You can even watch videos. Just scan that QR code right now and watch. Well, don't scan it now because that means you're not going to watch Rady's Rides. Scan it later after you're done watching. But you can see all the usual apps, especially one of my favorites is Cabin Watch. This is perfect for when you're driving your teenagers around, especially if they have a date and you want to make sure there's no hanky-panky and you could actually talk through the system. And whether they're wearing headphones or not, they will hear you back there. My dad used to have a system like this back when we were kids. He would just yell. He didn't need this system. And there you go. Let me show you the backup camera. Put it into reverse. I don't know when Honda, anybody want to take a, bet, when is Honda going to update their camera resolution? Because this is just straight out of 1990s. It works, but just not very clear. That's the challenge. Now, if you like buttons and knobs, Honda gives you an extra serving. You have your dual climate control. You have heated seats and ventilated seats, 3 apiece. This is for your 10-speed automatic. And then there's your bright red illuminated start-stop button. Now, down below, I do like the way they have this area open. This is perfect for a purse, a purse, a sack, a satchel. You got your USB-C, USB-A, home power source, and a 12-volt. We got our 2 cup holders. Nice large wireless charging pad for your phone. And then here is the Honda key fob, one of my favorites. It's got remote start. And then these I can't stand. I don't like the way they're too skinny, and I don't know, it doesn't really, I like a beefy armrest. I'm gonna move it out of the way so I could show you the nice finish here. Open this up. Look what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna take this out. Now, before you yell at me, it actually says removable. So I didn't do anything wrong. You do have HDMI and a USB-A, and you could fill this up, I would say, with 8 bags of Funyuns. You know, your kids are watching Barney, you're watching Peppa Pig, whatever the heck that is. You could get them some Funyuns, and then their breath is really gonna reek. The interesting thing is about Peppa Pig is that because it's become so popular here in the United States, many kids are talking like they're British. Not so much with the British accent, but instead of saying cookie, they're saying biscuit. Things like that. Kind of interesting, the cultural diversity that's happening. Anyways, seats, the actual leather, 2-tone with the piping, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver, and you do get a standard size sunroof. And there's a reason for that. It involves a large monitor that your kids are going to be watching Peppa Pig. Good thing Steven isn't any closer to me. I'd spit on the lens. Peppa Pig. But why don't you come over here and I'll show you behind the wheel in this Odyssey. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings for the driver's seat. And when you go Elite, you do get these fancy floor mats. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower. Love the way you got your full, easy accessibility to control your seats electrically. Plenty of room in here. Plenty of room. I'm 6 feet tall. You're good to go. Steering wheel, we do have leather all the way around. It is a heated steering wheel. You do have paddles to go up and down that 10-speed automatic, and it is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. Dash, it's still the old school one. It's got the 7-inch display on the left, and then you have your analog speedometer on the right. Not sure why they do that, but it really kind of is sad that they did it, because it should have a full 12.3-inch display. I do like the way in the TAC how you could bring up all sorts of information like your tire pressure, you can go into your safety support, all those different things easily placed. 1, 2, 3. I think the other zonk is, guess what? There's no head-up display in this. $51,000, a lot of money. I should get a head-up display. But let's get into that mid-row of this minivan and see if Odyssey is worth it. All right, guys, mid-row time, and this is really the advantage of a minivan. One thing I want to point out is I like the way they have AC vents for your mid-row passengers right in the frame, and easy access to open and close the door. Back of the seats, another thing that was super smart. Well, first of all, I got to fix this headrest there. My OCD feels better. It's all leather, and I like the way they went dark on the back. That's going to be easier to keep clean. You got a pocket up top. This is where you could put some snacks, easy access snacks for your kids. And then down below, this is where you could maybe put some coloring books and some crayons. Here's a little fun fact. Even as an adult, if you ever feel stressed out or depressed, do some coloring. It actually reminds you to the better days of when you were a little kid. And guess what? You have my permission. You can color outside the lines. I won't punish you for that. Now, you do get the same two-tone leather seats, just like up front, with a look at this. I mean, come on, man. What kind of captain's chair armrest? That's terrible. I don't even want to look at it. It's like, that's literally half the thickness of an armrest, say, in a Ford Explorer. Like, I don't know what they're doing over at some of these other brands. Like, whose arm actually sits on that? Now, another thing that's nice is you could get your larger bottles in here because of how low the center console is. USB-Cs. I'm 6 feet tall and I've got plenty of room. We have the nice manual sunshades, and you have your AC controls highly mounted, which is great. And then the Elite trim has a 12.9 inch they updated the resolution, high resolution monitor, so you can watch movies and everything. It's not like back when I was a kid, you know, my mom had a 9-passenger station wagon, and the only form of entertainment that I had was staring out the window. That was about it. But the seats, of course, slide, recline, and then if you want a magic trick, you do have this ability to turn this into a captain's chair armrest, and then you have 3 cup holders. Not 1, not 2, but 3, and a nice place for some nachos. I want some nachos right about now. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in that 3rd row and see if Honda did it right with the Odyssey. All right, guys, 3rd row time. And what's great about the Odyssey compared to some of the other minivans is, remember, you could take these seats out. They're totally removable, and that just gives you more of that cargo space, more flexibility. 3rd row, you do get the two-tone, but it's not the same nice leather as everybody else, which is kind of a bummer. Back here, though, you do have 2 USB-Cs. There's 1 USB on that side. I have my AC vents, cup holders, and it's a perfect place to be able to watch the TV monitor, the high-resolution 12.9-inch monitor back here. And I'm not even close to the headliner, which is nice. But let's get to that cargo area, because I want to take you for a spin in this Odyssey. All right, guys, cargo area time. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Hit the button, nice electric assist. Like I said, if you're thinking about minivan, this is one of the advantages, is how low that rear bumper area is when you're bringing things in and out. There's the other advantage on the Odyssey. The Odyssey lays the smackdown on cargo space. So that's 33 cubic feet of space. Look at how low the cargo floor is. I mean, you can get some tall items back here. We got an area for a bag of New York bagels. And this is where you can keep all your cream cheese for the schmears. And then look at this. This is where we have a power source, and you can put a lava lamp in there. Make this like a little bit of a shag wagon. But to put the seats down, it's actually quite simple, and it's so easy that Honda calls it the magic seats. So we're gonna pull on the tether, and look at this. Abracadabra. Doesn't get any easier than that. Now we have 87 cubic feet of space. You fold down that mid-row, you're looking at 141 cubic feet of space. I want to show you, see how easy it is to get in? This is what I was talking about back here, how you have your USB-C, you got your jack there for the headsets when you're watching the entertainment system, our rear AC. Only thing that's missing is I wish they gave us some soft material on the armrests. But that's how easy it is to get in and out of this thing. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go for a little spin in this Odyssey. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Honda Odyssey. If you're ready, I'm ready. We're gonna go on throttle. Dead stop. On throttle, here we go. So, one of the quicker, or probably the quickest, accelerating of the minivans, and even over some SUVs. So you're getting that nice linear torque delivery of the naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6. It is a little noisy. It's a little coarse sounding when you're on full throttle, but besides that, it actually operates fairly smoothly. You got the 10-speed automatic, the paddles behind the steering wheel. The one thing I'm missing though, like I said, in the top Elite trim is I'm surprised that there's no head-up display. That's a little bit of a shocker. But going down the road, very comfortable. The seats are amazing. Absolutely love the seats. And even though for some families it might not be better to have any light portions of the interior, it is nice on this one to have the two-tone. It kind of makes it feel a little bit more upscale. But the challenge that the Odyssey faces is that the competition has moved on, not only in offering hybrid powertrains, but also the technology on the inside when it comes to the infotainment system, the gauges, those types of things. It's just a little bit better tech in the competition. But for reliability and for just the overall act of driving, I do really think the Odyssey is the choice to make. It does feel more minivan than a Kia Carnival. And compared to a Sienna though, Sienna and Pacifica feel way more minivan than the Honda Odyssey. You can't beat though the room in this vehicle. I mean, the cargo space, the space for your passengers. Now, having that naturally aspirated V6, she is a little thirsty compared to the Sienna or Kia Carnival Hybrid. But other than that, just really smooth powertrain with that 10-speed automatic. One of my favorite things with this vehicle is how easy it is to make a U-turn. Way easier than a Kia Carnival. Watch this. Look at this. You just can't beat that. And then, like I said, having that smooth torque delivery of the V6, good shifting quality from the 10-speed automatic, and then of course the visibility. I mean, the visibility is really nice out the front. Nice side mirrors. Of course, you got power folding side mirrors, and you could easily make all of your adjustments. It's just where things feel a little dated, like I said, is the dash and that 9-inch infotainment system screen. But very nicely organized for your stuff. And I think that's another important thing, especially when it comes to what all the kids bring with them when you're driving them to school, when you're taking a family road trip, all those things. Pulling away from the light, I do like the way it's very good throttle sensitivity. Steering is not heavy at all. And then you do have the paddles behind the wheel to go through the automatic transmission. But really easy to drive. If you're not used to driving a vehicle like this, it is very easy to drive. And remember, because it sits lower than a SUV, this minivan has a lower center of gravity, which is nice as well. But I just think you're really gonna like the ease of driving this Odyssey. And you know what? Who cares what other people think about you driving a minivan? I don't see an issue with it because of just how easy it is to drive and how usable it is. Way more usable than any SUV. I don't care what you bring to the table, this is way more usable than any SUV. Even a Suburban. This is definitely the better family hauler. But getting out onto the highway, not a problem. It's just like I said, the V6 is a little on the louder side. But other than that, I mean, drives really nicely and would be perfect to go on that cross-country family road trip. But I'm hoping that this has been a good overall review of what the 2025 Odyssey is bringing. We're gonna get back to where it all began and wrap this one up, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another fun day in the sun here in Florida. Definitely want to thank the whole Honda team for getting us access to this refresh and updated 2025 Honda Odyssey. Let me know what you think. Is it your people hauler of choice, or are you gonna go with the competition? Let me know your thoughts in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta give it up to Stephen Flood. He's working that camera like a champ, even though he's struggling a little bit because he forgot his lunch at home. So, Stephen, this is the last car for the day. We'll go ahead and get you an IV at the hospital of some nutrients into your bloodstream. But thank you for your hard work, and just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.